Hello everyone, today we'll explore how the leading cloud providers such as Azure, AWS, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure, also called OCI, handle the accounts, tagging, and resource organization. So this is a multi-part series that we're going to be doing, releasing a video, providing the comparison about each feature. It is not only going to be a comparison, but also it'll be a little bit of a demo. So to help you in your understanding how the three different concepts works. So this is going to be helpful for you if whether you're deciding which cloud to use or just curious about their differences. So this video is intended to give you a real comparison. So please like, subscribe, share our channel, and let us know if any comments or anything. And the same information is also going to be there as usual in our blogs, as well as the links mentioned in this comparison. So you could go out there and check it out. Wanted to show about the accounts tagging and organization comparison, how it works in Azure, AWS, and OCI, and the agenda is essentially what are the accounts, what is the tagging, how will it work, and the organizations in cloud platforms, and how do we do it in each cloud, and what the takeaway is going to be for the users that is there. So I hope you all understand in accounts, and what I'll do is I'll show the comparison first, and then I'll go to the portal to show about, well, how the accounts and the other concepts work. In like accounts tagging and like the setup here, what we have is in AWS, we have an account concept. In Azure also, we have the account concept that is there, also similar to a subscription that is there. So account and subscription in Azure are synonymous, and also in OCI, we have a tenancy. So that is where the terminology, this is the different. Now, what is account? Account is essentially their user-specific or system-specific entities that provide access to resources to define credentials, permissions, and settings within a platform. So I hope that clarifies the concept of account, and we'll go over there and show the portal. I'll show the demo, I mean. So now the next difference is how the resources are organized in each cloud. In AWS, we would be having resource groups, and in Azure, the similar thing, there is a resource group concept in Azure as well. AWS also, it is recently introduced. In OCI, the terminology is called compartments. So essentially, like organizing resources is about categorizing and structuring assets to ensure efficient access, control, and utilization. This is essential for scaling your cloud environment. So I hope this and that will go over in each one. And likewise, metadata to resources. However, what is metadata? It is like set as tags that help associate context with the resources. This is vital for billing, tracking, and resource management. So which is where same thing, each cloud calls it, tags itself. There is no difference in this setup. So how do you do account management in each cloud? So multiple account management is about coordinating and securing several accounts across a system, ensuring efficiency and compliance. In AWS, it is called AWS organizations. In Azure, it is called tenants or Azure management groups as well. You kind of segregate it by these logical layers. And in OCI as well, it is called organization management. So I hope this comparison, it provides a fundamental aspect of how the three concepts will work and the setup. Now, what I'll do is just to ensure that these concepts are clear, I'll go with the portal of each one to make you visualize it. That okay, this is how it would be working in each cloud platform. So I have the portals of each cloud open in front of me. I have AWS, I have Azure, and also have OCI set up here. So what I will do is just to show you how to go about the concept is, now I'm here in the AWS management console, and with the first difference that was there was the concept of accounts actually, and this is where we see over here. If you come here in setup here, these are going to be the accounts that are used in AWS. So this is one concept that is kind of used in Azure. If you see, we do see these subscriptions, and this is going to be the synonymous to accounts as well. So you could consider this setup as well. There is also a concept of tenants. So that is something that could be considered as account, but usually the subscriptions, because it is a separate billing altogether, is considered as like an account setup. In Oracle, we have the similar setup here that we can check it out. That is like in Oracle. So here I would go to the user profile, and this is where I would see the tenancy is what you see. And this is where you could kind of click the tenancy out here to see the tenancy ID and settings. So this is where you could see the tenancy ID and settings for the setup here. So this is the concept of accounts, as in like the comparison between the three cloud providers. So next we will go to organizing resources, which is the, like in AWS it is called the resource groups. So that is where we will kind of go in search here in AWS and go. So just type in resource group. This is similar to Azure they have introduced, and you can just choose here. And here what you could do is you could kind of create a resource group. It could be tag based, and you could group it based on the EC2 instances. You could choose EC2 here, and you could just choose instances if you want, or like based on any other metric you want, and you could create different resource groups to show the setting. It could be EC2 instance. You could club it based on the tags, which again is synonymous to application. You could kind of do that grouping. Or you could have it like a specific category. You could do this S3. You could make this resource type here, and essentially it's a logical grouping. You could put RDS in here to categorize it as an application all. You could go about using tags. The tags is the recommended approach, but if not, you could kind of set it up this way as well. So this is the resource group. It's kind of simple and nothing complex about it, but one way to go about it. In Azure, nothing different. What you do is, what you see over here in Azure is, there is this resource groups here that you can go in the search bar, and you can go in the search bar. You can see, or in my case, it was there. You could search these resource groups here. See the thing, like if I click one here, all right, if I try creating one, and you could see these are the resource groups that you can go about doing. You can try creating some entity out here, and this is where you could kind of categorize it based on the different categories out here. You could have it based on the VM, based on other sources, or even based on tag itself. So this is the resource group. If I want, I can just create one. And let me just create one and show. Yeah, I can just create one resource group. And this is the name you could choose. You could choose which tags you want to assign it to. And then, based on that, you can review and create. I don't need to do it. Essentially, the whole point was to just show you the comparison over here. So likewise, let me go to the in Oracle and show how we do it there. So in Oracle, what we do is, the concept is called compartments, similar to resource groups. So if I come here, I search for compartments, you could go to search, or you could always come into this menu as well and search it out over here as well. But I prefer here because it's not easy to manage the setup. So here what you do is, now here we have, like you see, we have created different compartments. That is there. But you could create your own. You could come here, create your own, provide a description. And again, likewise, similar to the other ones, you could do with tags, or you could kind of, but over here, it's essentially you could use tags to do the setup. And over here, if I have to go further, let me just do this test YouTube description and provide it. Yeah, I can just provide this here. There you go. So here what I could do is, yeah, you could come in here, you could rename, you could move resource, and unlike AWS, right, where you may not see the, like ARN, Amazon Resource Name. In Oracle, you will see a OCI ID, Oracle Cloud ID. Over here, this is something that will be used a lot of the times in Oracle. So you could have this comparison over here. So, right, like this is where you could have access control defined as part of the compartment level. You could come here, you could do a lot more things as part of the compartment level over here. So I hope this provides the logical comparison between the compartments, the resource group for the setting over here. And then the next one, so let's go to the next comparison, which is metadata. Metadata, I think it's kind of straightforward. There's not going to be much complex about it. It is you create tags. Any resource you do, you go about creating the tags on that particular resource. So essentially, like if I have to choose in AWS, you could choose a VM for that matter. And if I go to a VM here, which is EC2 in AWS, a fancy word for VM, but you could choose the instances here. And if I choose one of this, I could come here and I could choose the tag out here. So it's as simple as that. Each resource you could assign a tag. There's nothing different about this setup here. And likewise, for the VM in Azure, if I have to choose this VM in Azure, if I come for a specific resource, say, like if I have to choose there's none that I've created here. But if I have to choose a virtual machine, create one, I could choose a Azure VM, and this is not just for VM. Any resource that you would be doing, you would be creating a resource, and you could see this is the tab here, and you could create it. You could provide tags when creating the VM or creating any resource, or even after the resource is created. So either way works out here. And likewise, an article, or how you would go about creating a tag, an article would be, is you would need to, similar to the other setup, go to any like resource. In this case, go to a VM here. Yeah, you could choose instances here, and like here, in instances, like I need to choose a compartment first. There you go. If I choose the compartment, and then here, now I could give a VM name, and I could choose similar to all the other clouds, you would specify a region, availability domain, and then you would choose the security shape, which specific family you want, the NIC information, the VPC over here, similar to AWS, Azure, you would choose that information. And be able to come in and provide the tags. Let me see, yeah, this is where you go. You have the tags out here as part of this setup. So each resource you could have the tags. It's not something just for VM, but I hope this provides how you could go about setting up the tags in each cloud. So now let's go to the multiple accounts management part, the last topic in this, and let's go to the AWS organizations. I did show the setup here. This is how the organization is done, at least for our organization. It's a simpler setup. It's not too complex, but there are other organizations with similar setup. We could not show here because of the privacy of our accounts of Appliance, but it's kind of straightforward. You could go here. In AWS, you could choose organizations. You could come in here and you could create like add an AWS account. You could, and once your AWS account is added, you could add it to the organization or the organization unit you want it to be under. You could do that. You could come in here. You could choose enable the respective policies that you want it to be set up, the service control policies or any guard duty policies that you want. You could come into it out here. And likewise, this is the policies, this is the service control policies. You could do it here. And once you have done this, you could then come back to Identity Center. I have it right here, and create the right permission sets. I think that we have created a lot of videos that you can go and check it out. The link is there. You could go to the blogs. You could read it. It's very descriptive, where you could see what are the best practices of creating identities, permission sets, the organization setup. You could put in there, or if any questions you have, please put in the comment, and we'd be more than happy to help you understand those concepts. But this is where you would be having the Identity Center, where you could set up the users, groups, and permission sets. Now, this is different from the IAM. So don't get confused between IAM, Identity Center, and IAM. So they're two different things. Now in Azure, let's go to the Azure aspect, and this is where we'll go here. And in Azure, what we have is we would be having management groups that we can look into. So this is the management groups that are there. Yeah, so this is where you see I have the root group, the management group, but you can create multiple. Underneath this, I could create multiple, but for now, it's just a very simple setup just for the demonstration purposes. And then you see I have the subscription or the account underneath it. The policies I could be applying at the management root group, and then it would be populated to the respective account, and I could have the policies at the account level as well out here. So this is where you could kind of have the right structure, the management group structure, the account structure, and you could apply the right policies right at the parent or even at the child level as well. In Article, you would be having, you could go here and in the search bar, just search for organizations. It's similar. And you could go to documentation. Yeah, let me go to overview. Yeah, so you see, you have the same setup. This is where like you could come here. I'll exit out of it. But you could kind of have central setup for your organization to centrally manage it. So you could kind of here, you could be the tenancies. You could map the different subscriptions out here in Article. So it has a lot of features. You could see this is the parent tenancy out here I have. You could try the different invitations for your different accounts that you could do similar to AWS. You could try it like mapping. And to our experience, what we have seen is OCI and AWS. If you know AWS, it's kind of, OCI as well. It's kind of the same terminology, not much difference, except a few words such as compartments, shapes. But you will get the concept as if you know one cloud, you'll get the other cloud as well. So it shouldn't be much of a feature. So this is where you could see we have this concept. You have the different subscription mapping. If this is the default subscription I would be getting, this is going to be a billing account as well. Different invitations I could put here. Different policies, if I want, I could apply it here. And I could have the similar setup to AWS or Azure. I could have the same concept at the OCI level as well. So I hope this was helpful to understand, and you were able to understand the strengths in accounts tagging and organization. And AWS is ideal for organizations needing scalability and control. And to our experience, Azure is great for unified billing and simplified management. And OCI, it's kind of new kid on the block, though even it has been there for quite many years. The market share is kind of small, but OCI excels in secure isolation and enterprise-grade organization, especially for organizations that have been using Oracle databases. So, our recommendation, and this is going to be the session 1 of multiple comparison. You could tune into our videos for subsequent comparisons, but this is where you could choose. This should help you identify. And this will, please give this video a thumbs up, subscribe for more cloud-related content, and leave your thoughts or questions in the comments below. And we have launched a newsletter, so please go in and subscribe to those newsletters. We will be sending weekly updates on cloud, the latest trend in technology, and also we have released our product, Cloud My Site, where you could go, and it's 100% on-cloud platform where you can not only get your website, but you have a lot more control. It's a pure cloud setup. It's a very affordable, and it's a limited time offer till the prices go up. But drop in your comment, and we'll see you in the next video. Thank you.